Here's what happened, guys. Earlier this year, the government announced a $1 billion initiative to protect our food supply for the long term. And long term is a key phrase there. It's a step in the right direction. This didn't get talked about as much. We got to talk about this more because there's lessons here to be learned in any industry you're in as a small business owner to focus on the long term and focus on the root problem. Not just create band-aids to the problems that you're dealing with, but get to the root cause and figure out what that problem is and be able to move forward with a great strategy to handle that problem. So this is a $1 billion initiative. I'm excited that this is being focused on protecting our food supply. It goes back to what we talked about before here on the show. Important to localize our food supply chain, secure it. Especially with this war with Iran, there is a big push or big prediction that this could then lead to more nationalism rising in countries and isolationism when it comes to trade. So that would be interesting to know if that's going to unfold here. I hope this war ends as soon as possible. It is terrible the situation that we're in right now, and you got to continue to voice your desire to want this war to end as soon as possible. We got to keep pushing for that, and to push to not have troops, more troops, go to the Middle East and lose their life. We can't. We got it. We got to put a stop to this. And the best way to be able to do that is to be able to communicate that and share that with your elected officials, your representatives, be able to share that with the government. And that's one of the beautiful rights that we have as individuals here in this country, to be able to voice our disagreement and communicate that. And we got to keep protecting that right with freedom of speech. So welcome back to the show. Let's get into it for today. What I want to talk about, I'm going to get the press release up here. I want to talk about some different points in this press release that get me excited for what's possible here. So let me get this up. Okay, we'll start with the beginning, the headline. So this is coming from Health and Human Services for the press release. You got USDA involved and EPA. And so here we go. The EPA announced over $1 billion investments and plan to accelerate progress on farm modernization and long-term food supply security. This is great. I mean, there has been the problem of short-term thinking in our past generations, and it has created a lot of mess. You could just look around your city and look at the crumbling infrastructure and different areas that have been run down to, if it is not just thinking of infrastructure, but then thinking about this big mess, $39 trillion mess, which is our national debt, now over $39 trillion. We have a lot to clean up, and we need to step up. As small business owners, I believe America's future leaders are small business owners, and this is the time where we got to step up with massive change that is underway and channel that change towards America's future and make it a small business renaissance. That is a big focus for this movement and uniting small business owners who genuinely care not only about the people that they're serving through their products and services, but also care about the future of this country. And we got to continue to fight for what is beautiful, good, and true about this country. So let's get into 3-pillar plan to accelerate progress. Number one, better understand risks of chemicals to individual and population health. So you may or may not know this, but there is pesticides that are sprayed on our food, and that is not good for us. And when it comes to food, something that we eat pretty much every single day, unless you're fasting, trying that out, it is important to make sure we're getting the best quality food for our body, because then we can show up better as small business owners and as husbands, boyfriends, as leaders in our community, as providers, as being able to show up as a leader for our team. And when we're able to show up less grumpy, more energized and excited, that is really helpful then for the quality of life to improve, not only for ourselves, but others around us. And when it comes to these chemicals that get sprayed on our food, we have got to transition away from this inherited farming, inherited food supply system that we've received from past generations. We got to stop it. Second one is then increase federal government investment in regenerative agriculture practices and education. This is really cool because there's $700 million that are being allocated towards projects in partnership with farmers, ranchers. So if you're in this industry, and I hope you know about these projects, if not, you can look this up. and be able to see how you can get involved, especially if you've been interested in moving towards regenerative agriculture. And what that is, quickly to share that with you, is it's a holistic approach to farming. It's taking care of the soil health. That's been a big issue, is the health of the soil, and it's been deteriorating. And so with regenerative agriculture, it's making it healthier, or making it healthy, the soil, so that we can continue to farm on this land. And it's important as a principle and a lesson that we can all take as small business owners, is to make sure that we are stewards of the products and services that we are being able to share with other people. Make sure that we are taking a genuine care of these products and services for the methods that they're being delivered, and then what's within these again, products and services. Make sure it's high quality, where we're not wasting people's time either. So stewardship is really important, and stewardship of our country, to be able to move forward in a way where we're taking care of America's future and thinking about future generations, not just ourselves. And when we can think about our kids' generation, our grandkids' generation, it becomes a no-brainer for a decision to be made to, in the present moment, to have to endure some potentially a little bit more pain, and a whole lot more effort in order to make sure that we're setting the future generations up for success. And when it comes to regenerative agriculture and going the natural way of farming, that's such a big win, and a good step in the right direction. Number 3 is then spur private sector innovation in farming modernization by reducing red tape and matching private funding. Reducing red tape. I think every single industry could appreciate that, for small businesses to be able to have reduced red tape. And I've talked before about this when it comes to the committee for businesses, the name, I'm slipping here for the name, but with the Small Business Administration, being able to have the ability for you to share the unnecessary red tape and when it comes to regulations, that was another good step in the right direction. But then let's get into, so these are the investment highlights. We'll just go through this real quick. I like looking through these things. So you got $840 million from the USDA. This is the regenerative pilot program that I talked about, where it's $700 million. And what I like to see, let me see where this is. Oh yeah, look at this. This is what I like right here. Enhancing farmer prosperity. Let's go. So the Strengthening Agriculture Systems Program aims to help transform the U.S. food and agricultural system to increase agricultural production while enhancing farmer prosperity. And let me get into the next one, $200 million from the Department of Health and Human Services. So this is cool for Grand Prize Challenge. I noticed this throughout history. For when it comes to innovation, a great way to spur innovation is to have prizes. And so we got here $100 million Grand Prize Challenge from NIH for researchers to identify creative solutions for evaluating the exposure, diagnosis, and treatments of cumulative chemical exposures on individual health. That is, just reading that without knowing all of the details, that is so cool to see a focus in this area. We know it's a problem, and we got to understand to what extent and then make the necessary changes. Another one, we got $100 million from the Advanced Research Project Agency right here. New and innovative cost-effective technologies that reduce reliance on chemical crop protection tools. So this I want to show it to you soon. Actually, it has it right here, robotic weeding systems. This was cool. It's like there's a system that attaches to a tractor where it's a laser that then is destroying the weed all the way down to the root, and it explodes the weed, which is so cool when it comes to good uses of technology here. And especially with the large scale farms, again, you can manually take the weeds out, and on the smaller farms. But this is cool to see. I'm going to share a video between Joe Rogan and RFK Jr. in a little bit where he explains this a little bit more, and we get to see what this looks like. And then let's look at the EPA. So yeah, $30 million from EPA, another prize. Challenge for cost-effective alternatives to pre-harvest use of pesticides. So this is alternatives to then the pesticide gets sprayed right before harvesting the food, which goes back to the increase in the chance of having human exposure to these pesticides that we absolutely have to stop. So that is the press release. And again, lesson right here is to focus on the long term, get to the root problem within your business, and then your industry. You can then become an innovator and a leader within your industry when you understand those problems in that industry. Other business owners can look to you for guidance, and then you're just setting yourself up as the leader, and then you can continue to chart the path moving forward within your own business. It then helps to simplify your environment when you're understanding the root problems and not just the band-aid, putting on band-aids to these problems. Really get into the heart of it for what is the challenge you have to deal with. And that's by simplifying your environment, it makes it a lot easier to handle the chaos that is out there that we're dealing with. It is not a soft year to be a business owner. And when it comes to small businesses, we have to unite and continue to support one another, but then at the same time, continue to push each other. Iron sharpens iron. So that is the long-term thinking, getting to the root problems, and then enduring and making sure that we take the time to endure now. We're going to have a little bit more effort. It's going to be a little bit more pain, but then we get to be the example. And by leading by example, we can show the way for future generations that want to get into our industries and that want to be small business owners of like, hey, you can do this. It is possible to achieve the American dream and to handle the chaos that is out there. And we get to set the new standard. And it's going to be a lot more work. And is that fair? No. Like, it's just not. But we have to clean up the messes that we've experienced, like that we've gotten from previous generations, like the $39 trillion mess, and we have to put a stop to this, clean up these messes, and move towards a new future for America and save our country. So that's another one for when it comes to endurance. And discipline is really important throughout this too. When it comes to, we'll get stewardship as well. So stewardship and genuinely caring about the products and services and taking the time to understand all the different details. Does that take a little bit more effort? Yeah. Are there ways to then localize the supply chain within our industries, and so we can get a better understanding of all the different components involved either in our product or in our service? Yeah, well, there are. Is that going to be more of a hassle and add more to your plate? Yeah, in the short term, but over in the long term, they can continue to build trust and provide the lifetime value to the people that are buying your services and products. I mean, that helps in the long term, but there's so much of the short term thinking, and it can be easy to go to these shiny objects that people put out there of like, oh, you should try this, or even getting into AI and using a bunch of different applications with AI. You may be starting to use like 20 different applications when really all you had to do is take the time to really understand one application and maximize it. So going deep is such a shift that is happening with small business owners rather than just going surface level. And that really helps. There's an example from a company, an owner of a company who's putting out hygiene products, and he is taking, using, he's got bison and related to like toothpaste. There's like bison bone. I want to say, don't hold me to that, but what he was talking about, and they got other balms and deodorant, and all these other things, and using animal fat for some of these products. But he said he wants for the vision for the moving forward is to be able to have these animals where they're able to own the animals, take care of the animals way better than they're being treated, and making sure that they're great quality for raising these animals. And then they're going to be able to use them for these products, but then be able to sell the meat as well. And with the usage for all the products, that can make it so much more affordable to sell this great quality meat. And he's like, that's the vision, is to use all the parts of the animal that come into our supply chain and not waste it, which I get really excited about that's being talked about. And then it's something we can take within all of our different industries is how do we maximize the inputs and maximize the resources for either the product we're building or the service that we are sharing. How can we maximize it to its fullest rather than just moving on to the next thing? Really take our time to focus on all the different components that we can utilize. Like, for example, with this guy with the company, being able to not just use it for hygiene products for the animal, but also being able to use the meat of the animal to then sell that to people, and then that expands the lifetime value of the customer to be able to then go to all these other products that they could try. And that's so cool. We got to hold on to that lesson as small business owners moving forward. So what I want to share, the let me share the video. Let me get that up here. I get distracted here. I looked over. Okay, let me get this. I was like, oh yeah, my notepad's right here. Okay, let's get the video up of Joe Rogan and RFK Jr. All right, you guys, yeah, you seeing it? Okay. Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to get out of here because I want to make sure I'm sharing the audio with you. It's happened before. Let me get this up. All right, here we go, guys.
Who are using this new system of lasers, and which is now the cheapest way to control weeds in the vegetable fields. So, vegetables, lettuce, celery, all of these vegetables now, they're using a lot of them. You're going to see a very quick transition. It's an attachment that is dragged by a tractor. It kills the weeds at every stage of their life. It identifies their species and kills them instantly, all the way down through their root system by exploding them with this laser. And yeah, here's one of the.
This is what it looks like?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
So it is incredible to see technology like this out there and that is being used. And to be able to have a focus on new technologies in this way, that is something I really get excited about, because there are other ways that technology can be used to distract us. And when it comes to this, it's cool to see what this could have, the impact that this could have on the agriculture industry and moving forward for our food supply system, and make sure it's secure, because food is so important. And until you don't have it, don't have easy access to it, you're not thinking about how big of an impact this has in your day-to-day life and the feeling of safety. But when you you're not thinking about that when you do have it, but when you don't have it, it becomes a big focus, and then it becomes really difficult to continue to operate the business and make sure you're taking care of your team, taking care of your family. There can be a lot of stress that can add on and burden that can add to your life and in your day-to-day life when you don't have access to good quality food. And we need to make sure that we are taking care of our farmers. And as an industry, I believe in the future, this is going to be one of the most valued and popular industries moving forward in the future is farming, especially with these new technologies, new method, or going back to the old methods of regenerative agriculture. It's cool to see how important of an issue this is with Gen Z coming into the newest generation coming into the workforce. And again, we can take some lessons from this as small business owners. And we have to, I think about this for the generation. If we want to save this country, we have to courageously step up as small business owners across industries and unite and be able to have courage here to do the hard thing. And that is going to be adding in more effort to figure out the root problems, to address them, to communicate them, to, again, seek out the truth. And the truth, it can be uncomfortable, it can be overwhelming even at times, and it can give us peace of understanding the challenge that we have ahead of us so that we can face that and unite on facing those challenges and moving through those challenges. And we have to be able to do this to save our country moving forward with the big messes that we have, like the $39 trillion mess that is our national debt. And we've got to do this for our kids' generation and then our grandkids' generations, and set them up for success and for them to be able to have the opportunity to achieve the American dream. So if you are a business owner who also wants to connect with other business owners in person that care about this country, and you want to be able to help shape the future for the over 1,000 industries here in the U.S., then you can join us for a Future Fest in Charleston, South Carolina. This is happening January 14th and 15th, 2027. The plan is to have over 300 small business owners across industries, across the country coming together in Charleston. Excited for that event. And there's an opportunity not just shape the future, but then to build to focus on building a business that can handle the chaos that we can experience in our world. And for you as a business owner to prepare yourself to handle the chaos that is out there and build something that lasts for decades into the future. And we got to think that long-term thinking moving forward into the future. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.